Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mamaliez. Welcome to
Hey,
my
welcome,
children.
welcome,
Hi,
welcome.
hi, Nina. Okay, Mamaliez is about sharing of inspiring stories behind closed door stories with unconditional love and respect. So, uh, I want to wish everybody happy Ramadan. So I'm a bit slow this month. So on Friday nights, but we still go on. The show still has to go on, and we still have it on every Friday night. But the only
Yeah,
one that I'm thinking, yeah,
but
yeah,
actually, if you guys are online, share with us how Ramadan has been for you because it now has been what 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, right? Of fasting. Yeah,
yeah.
and
And
as
for
usual, by 4 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I cannot think, I cannot function. It's 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock is so far. So that's what happens to me. But what about you guys? How are you guys doing? Let us
yeah,
know.
let us know. Like for me, I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay in the morning, but the time reaching almost 12 is like this the hunger point. There's one point that I'm like
12 o'clock, not
super
four.
hungry. Yeah.
Yeah, by
And then
four,
after
I
that, you are
cannot
you are too
think.
hungry. You just like over hungry. Then no hungry anymore. Then you get used
Uh-huh.
to it already. You know.
Yep, yep, yep,
So
yep,
yeah,
yep.
but my Friday night show is still on. It's just that my Saturday I'm taking a break. Saturday is at 4 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
So I'm taking
So
a break
what's
on Saturday shows.
okay?
The
Mm.
Saturday shows where the Mama Liz wants to learn. Saturdays now Mama Liz wants to rest. Okay.
Okay, okay, I got it. Until further notice. I like that.
Yeah, until
Okay,
after Raya.
because guys, these shows, I mean, you probably don't realize it, but it takes a lot of time and effort and energy. So yeah, good job, Liz. Two
Yeah,
two a week is
I
crazy.
I don't know how Nina does it, but she just do it with grace. Like it's just kacang
Well, I
putih,
do a lot
nothing
of
on you.
prep. I do a lot of prep.
Yeah, and I'm just doing just two shows on a week, and yet I think I'm going crazy already. But anyway, let's go. We're gonna invite a very special person tonight who is my popcorn buddy. He's my buddy, and he went to the same course as me. The LinkedIn, the authority leader with the organized
Where
by
I
popcorn.
kind of them, just so you guys
Yes,
know. Yeah.
yes,
Oh, let me
and
check.
he ah
Yeah, go
ah.
on.
So let me put him on. So here we go. Chee Seng Lai Chee Seng. He's a writer, a content creator, a coach, a lay preacher. That's something new I just learned about him.
What?
A
A lay preacher?
culinary
What is
artist.
that?
After you can ask him.
Okay.
And
I
father
didn't
of
know this.
one daughter. So, Chee Seng, I was with him last year taking the course, right? And
Mhm.
both of us were
Wait,
in
how are
the
you guys doing? Let us know.
learning.
Sorry. That
Yeah.
was us. Yeah, sorry. on
Oh,
Facebook.
okay. So anyway, yeah, and then from there on, after a year later, he's gone. He has created his own following, his own branding. He's really awesome. How I see he grows so much, and I'm so super proud of my buddy. Right now, I have to
Mm-hmm.
learn from him. And to write better and all that. I want to learn from him. I want to send my kids to him to learn how to write.
Wow.
So everyone, just please get him on. So without further ado, let's invite T-Sen in front of us.
Woohoo.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hello, T-Sen. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for the
So
lovely introduction.
yeah, so you really take it a big storm in LinkedIn. I think you became the
What?
in authority there.
Did you
Like for me,
cut your
I
hair?
was like,
TJ?
oh
No,
my
I want
god.
to cut my hair. What is? It's
Okay, welcome.
lumpy. It needs to be cut.
Lumpy. Okay. If you guys are
So
tuning in, let us know so we know where you guys are tuning in from, how you guys are doing.
yeah,
Okay.
let us know. Yeah, let us know where you are
You
tuning
look
from.
good.
Tuning
You
from.
look handsome, like Chee Seng. No need to flatten your
Ah,
hair.
yes, success. I got it.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
Okay, so what is today about? What were we talking about today? Because I didn't look at the questions. I'm sorry.
Nina didn't do
No,
homework.
not you,
no
not
need
you.
lah.
Hmm.
She never mind. She go with the flow and
Yeah. I've
so
decided.
yeah, I think when I was a buddy with him with the course, there are certain things that I discovered about him, and I think a lot of people don't know the journey, the life journey that he went through, and I think it's super inspiring. And I think he didn't really want to share last time, you know.
Hmm. Now
Yeah,
I want to know.
yeah, because and I said, hey, Jason, your stories are so amazing. You should share with everybody. You want to teach people how to write authentic. You yourself must show yourself who you are, you know. And then, boom, he did that. There your here, Jason has arrived, you know. So maybe Jason, you can just introduce a bit of yourself to the audience and everybody else.
Yeah, okay. So my name is Shising, as mentioned. I'm 47 years old this year. Not that old, not that young, middle aged. As Lee said, I'm married with one daughter. She's 19, and my life has been a pretty interesting journey so far. Um, I would say quite unconventional compared to what I had imagined it was going to be. Yeah,
Mm,
I came out from college and I wanted to conquer the world. I like any other young person, right? Become famous lah, have a great career.
mm,
But I'm a bit greedy lah. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to have awards. I wanted to be well known in the industry as one of the top leaders, experts. I wanted to be a millionaire by the time I was 40. I wanted to retire early and then do whatever I wanted lah. But
mm.
I guess God has other plan for me, so none of that has happened yet. But
Along going maybe one day soon. You never
I don't
know.
know, because I'm at the stage right now which I feel and I mentioned this to someone before. So I feel kind of at this moment I feel very surrendered,
Mm,
right? Surrendered.
What do you mean by surrendered?
Yeah, because when I was striving for those things last time, it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of stress trying to achieve it. Um, and I think it wasn't meant for me at that time, lah. Right? Because no matter what I did, it just doesn't happen. Something will start, it looks promising, and then for some reason it will just die. No matter what I did, or rather something might come and then it looks like, oh, this might turn into something, and then it will become nothing. And something I might be chasing, and then chasing, I'll never get it.
all
Right?
right.
So
Before we go there, maybe you just share a
yeah.
bit. How was your childhood like?
Oh, my childhood. I'm the youngest actually, so I have a brother who is 7 years older than me, and my sister is 9 years older. So because they are that much older, I spent most of my childhood alone because my dad worked very long hours, and he was actually a workaholic. He
Mm,
spent 7 days in the office, right?
right.
7 days, typically 10 to 12 hours.
No, he
So
was very hardworking for the family,
yeah,
yeah. Yep.
yeah, and because he was a self-made man, no, he came up from a broken background. His father abandoned him, and when he was, I think, 4 or 5, and
Really?
he was sent to live with his relatives, and all his relatives were dirt poor. They had like 10 children, and all of them like slept on the ground in a one room hut, stuff like that. They were really
Wow.
dirt poor.
In Malaysia.
In Malaysia, yes, they were really dirt poor. So my dad was telling us, by the time he was 5 years old, he had to earn his own living already, right? You
Five
you
years
don't
old.
work, yes, you don't work, you don't eat. So all the children they had to
What kind
work.
of work he was doing at 5 years old?
He told us that he would go to the market and those vegetable scraps that drop on the ground.
Mm.
So he will pick up the ones that look still edible and wash it, and then bundle it to sell again. That's one.
Wow.
Then cigarette butts. So there's
Huh.
a little bit of tobacco left. So he'll be tapping out all the tobacco from all the cigarette butts, rolling up into new cigarettes and to sell things like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And then he said he told us that sometimes no food to eat, just go to the public tap and just gulp down water lah, until he was that poor lah. He was that poor.
Did he
So
ever go to school?
as and when they had a little bit of extra money, then he went. There was no government school last time. You want to go to school, you had to pay. So as and when if ever there was some extra money, he would go for a while. But because he was so poor, he always got bullied. He never had clothes to wear, right?
Mm.
So yeah lah. So that's why he worked very hard because he wanted to make it. So I think I got that. I think I got a little bit of that workaholic from him lah. So yeah, I do still at this age. I sometimes do work like 15 hours, 18 hours a day still, but I find that I can't do it that much anymore lah. I'm 47.
But I do notice that like our generation parents, like my mom, she came from a very poor family. Nina, when she shared her story, how she came
Pretty
from
amazing, actually.
Yeah, her story was in similar way as well. Like she has, at young, come from a very kampong poor family, also struggling, and she sees the father working very hard, climbing the trees to get the fruits to sell and all that. In fact, my grandfather passed away trying to petik the petai, I think.
Oh my
The
gosh.
petai tree. Yeah, he was climbing up and then he fell down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Tragic.
So my grandma remarried again. So yeah, I think our parents' generation must have gone through that. And then my mom also, that's why she grew up wanting to succeed, because she didn't want her family or any of us had to go through what she was going through
Yeah.
before, right?
Yeah. Correct.
But the thing is, when they are working hard, means my mom would not have the chance to really spend time with us. So
That's
that
true.
is the what you call it.
Yeah, that's true. So that's why my childhood I spent most of it alone, because my dad was working, and then he came home, he didn't talk much, and then my mom had a regular hours, but my mom was those type that very strict lah, right? So won't come and talk to me unless there was a problem, and it would not be pleasant.
Tiger mom, Asian mom.
Tiger mom, yeah,
Because
correct.
Asian mom.
Tiger mom, and then because by the time I was like 5-6 years old, want to play with people, then my brother and sister were already teenagers, having their own life already, in activities and so. So I spent most of my childhood alone lah, didn't have much family contact. In fact, my grandmother would babysit me. But when I was old enough, like 8 or 7, when I could actually sit down and don't cause too much trouble, she would go out for like 3-4 hours in the afternoon and play mahjong.
That's Chee.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
And that's him and your
that's my
dad. So cute lah, you, Chee. Look at you.
Some people say I still look the same.
Adorable, actually.
That's my mom.
And your mom. Yeah. So
Hey, you won't believe my mom still very young.
And this you were in the primary school, this one?
Yeah, can you find me or not?
Which one are you?
Definitely one of the big size one. Oh yeah, I found.
You also had to look.
You cari yang terbesar lah, that's me lah.
Terbesar.
Okay, you know what?
Which one? You know what? Nina, you know which one? You know which one?
Cari yang terbesar. Okay, kejap. Oh, yang cute kat atas tu, belah kanan.
Anyone can
Yeah,
guess which one is Chee Seng? Ready? You can guess which row?
The top row at the top on the right.
yeah,
The one
betul.
with the glasses.
No glasses. He's
No
right at the
glasses.
Oh,
top
I
on the
know the
right.
top right. Right on the
Yeah.
top, on the
Yang
right side.
Wait, which
paling
school
besar tu
is
lah.
it?
This is Anglo-Chinese school in Ipoh.
ACS.
Yeah.
1981.
Oh yeah, you orang Ipoh, you know lah.
Yeah,
ACS,
yeah.
Ah.
Hey, you are 1975, is it?
24.
74. Okay.
This is my standard 6 class. Well, I'm still in touch with many of these people lah, my good friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one are you? Alamak.
You cari yang terbesar lah.
Okay.
It's
Are you
always-
always the biggest kid?
I'm always the biggest or second
Okay,
biggest.
you know
or
what
third
they
biggest.
say about the biggest kid?
What?
They have the biggest heart.
No,
Teddy bear.
no. They carry the trauma of being the biggest person so that when they're good looking, they still think they're ugly. This is from Shallow Hell, by the way.
Ah.
Yeah, that's why you go for the skinny girls who were fat before or the skinny guys who were fat before because they're nice
Oh.
people
Oh.
and they don't know they're hot, so they're not narcissistic. That's what they say.
Really?
Oh,
Are you saying I'm hot?
Yes.
I still can't.
Wow, there's 2, man. Woohoo!
I can't.
There's
Hey, your
nobody
chicken-
fat here, Chee saying, for me to
No, that
find.
time I wasn't fat. At that time I was really fit. I was
How
really
old?
fit.
What did you do to get fit? From the
I was a
cutie
lifeguard.
pie.
I was a lifeguard. So
Wow.
I actually have the certificate of
know?
merit, the
Oh.
highest award for a swimming pool lifeguard.
Wow. Okay, can I
So,
just say
yeah.
something? As soon as you said lifeguard, I immediately had this slow motion of a person running down, just like that Baywatch thing.
Wait.
And then,
Yeah,
and then
red
suddenly the
speedos.
music- yeah, red
Still
speedos. And
cannot
suddenly
guess.
wait. Then the music slows down, and then I realized it's in Malaysia. Okay, so
No, but
which one? are
that
you?
time I was really fit. Part of the training for the certificate of no, was it? I can't
Which
remember
one
what
are
it's called
you?
now.
I still don't know.
I'm yang paling besar lah. You just cari yang paling besar cukup.
That
Not the
one I
tallest
needed.
lah.
Oh,
besar.
I know. You
You
are
needed.
second row, third from the right.
Yeah.
Ada
The
muka.
muka angkuh.
Oh,
Muka
muka
action.
angkuh.
Sebab
Oh,
you
gangster.
paling fit lah.
Yeah,
Muka
fit that
gangster.
time. I had 4 pack that time. 4 pack.
Oh, yo, four
With
pack.
4 pack, you are
Yeah.
behind there. No, in front.
No, now I got family pack.
Oh, you are the one at the back with
Yeah.
the glasses,
Smiling.
right?
The glasses and no eyes.
They're all smiling, honey.
You sing, you know how to sing, is it?
No. That was in a youth conference. I was one of the youth leaders.
Hi, Shirley.
So yeah,
Salah.
so
You were talking or you were singing?
I was talking. I was doing a presentation.
Okay.
Who's watching? Say
What's the
hello
name?
lah.
Okay, so people who's watching so far that I can see is Karen Sharma, who's saying hi, Liz, Siti
Oh,
Abdullah,
hi, Karen.
Anju and Madhuvala. Shirley's online. Hi.
Hi, thank you for
Shirley, say
watching. Hi, Shirley. All right. So,
Wait, how do you guys see the comments? I can't see anything.
I'm watching on my phone, so here on
Your phone-
Liz's Facebook, but it's not
Ah.
appearing here. I don't understand why it's not appearing here, kind of thing.
Okay. So, during your childhood, you are mostly very independent then? Did you learn how to be independent?
Independent.
Or how?
I have a very weird. Looking back now, I was actually very sheltered because I'm kept in the house. I cannot go out. The first time I went out with friends was when I was 14 or 15.
You're like a girl.
Yeah, so
Really kept in the house.
I'm like a small kid, keep you in the house lah, don't get into trouble, So, but I was kept in the house and I was like nothing to do. It's so boring every day. I remember.
But these are your friends, right?
Yeah, this is my church mate. This is from 25 years ago.
Okay, and how old were you here?
I guess I guess I would be like 20s, mid 20s.
Okay. Makes sense. You still
Yeah,
look.
so all those children are my godchildren
These
now.
are still
Then they
your
got these are the
You have
grown-ups,
so many
not the
godchildren.
babies. Officially 3 lah. The rest of them is like, yeah, we are very close lah.
Okay.
and then this is your whole family.
This is my sister Stephanie. Nina knows. My brother
Yeah,
is
I know
there.
Stephanie.
Is
Which one?
it
That's
Oh,
my
she
grandma.
from Asia Works?
Yeah, me. Yeah,
Stephanie's from Asia Works.
I'm a
Yeah,
LP.
it's his sister.
She's
Yeah,
your sister?
Yes,
yeah.
you didn't
And
know?
I'm LP. And
No,
I'm
I
LP
didn't.
73.
Same as
Oh,
me. He's my LP buddy.
oh,
Yeah.
I LP
So
one
that's
one
my
zero.
grandma. My grandma who's passed away already.
I see.
Hmm.
So this one, tan
Yo,
wow, you
Kahwin.
your mom is wearing a kebaya.
sailor.
Yeah. My mom very
How
stylo
come?
one. My mom very stylish. You should see her pictures when she was still in her
Yeah.
20s and 30s. She had
Wow. Why is she wearing a kebaya? Are you guys like Nyonya or something?
tak lah,
Descendants?
she's just stylish lah. She's just stylish.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
She
Nice.
when she was in her 20s and 30s, you look back in the photos when she was in her 70s, she would wear
Style.
mini dress, platforms,
For
damn stylo.
you.
I nak tengok balik gambar masa dia muda. Mana jap? Dengan you kan?
Ada.
This one. Ha.
This one I think I was 14 years old that time.
Why do we all have awkward teenage photos, no matter how old we are?
You look like your mom though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you married at what age?
I married at 26.
26.
Yeah.
So tell us what went on after after you finished your school and then you went to college?
Yeah, so I after SPM I went to take A levels, which
This
I
your A
failed.
levels.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
failed your
that's
A
my
level. Your A level gang.
because I don't like to study.
Oh.
I'm the rebellious kid, don't like to study. Then I spent 2 years in A levels, failed. Then I went and studied diploma in design for 3 years. So
What design? Fashion design?
no, graphic design and advertising.
Oh, okay.
Then yeah, that was 3 years. Then I came out and 97 came to KL to look for a job, but because I wasn't a very good design student also, my lecturer told me, hey, you since you want to be in advertising and your design not that good, your English good, you go and become a copywriter lah. Copywriter make a lot of good money also. Oh, okay, I sound like a good idea.
Oh, it's your teacher's idea. It's not that something you like to do anyway.
No, actually that's an interesting idea also, because looking back, I just realized there are all these seeds lah, right? So when I was figuring out what I wanted to do with my life, of course, being Chinese, you must have the big four lah, and doctor, engineer, or lawyer, or accountant. I was looking at all this, is like, no way, man. You know, accounting, law, and what do you call it? For A levels, out, I cannot tahan, you know. So only left lawyer and engineer. Maths I cannot tahan, so engineer habis. Only left the lawyer.
Sorry.
I took law, so only left nothing lah, right? Nothing to do. No more options. So I said, okay. But at that time, I felt okay. I felt like I wanted to be an influence. I didn't know how. I didn't know what career I could have. Then that's when I thought about, hey, advertising lah. I know advertising, I can do something that reach a lot of people.
At that time, you were thinking you want to be an influencer already.
Yeah, but I didn't have those words in my mind lah, right? I just wanted to be
because that time where got the word influencer come yet?
Correct. So that's why I went into. That's why I went to so I thought of advertising, but I didn't know how to get into advertising, so I went to design. So I went to do design. That's when my lecturer told me, designing maybe not for you lah. Go and be a copywriter. So here I am, So that's why I say the seeds of all these things, I think really God has arranged lah, right? Just like just now, I the part where I was one of the youth leader presenting, stuff like that. All these small things that just added up over the years lah.
So from there you were doing the copywriting thing, and then what happened?
So I came out. Well, first thing first, because coming from a very sheltered family background, so of course, and being a freshie applying for jobs wasn't easy lah. So I was quite devastated because I couldn't find job for a few months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
1997, you remember during that time
but
is
that time when I was when I
economic
came out,
crisis.
still haven't
We were
crisis yet.
still
So I got a job in a middle-sized agency. There were about 15, 20 people at one time in the office. So I went in, salary like crap, 800 ringgit. Worst thing was the working environment was absolutely toxic. The boss man was a bloody moron, and I use this word without shame lah. He is really a moron lah, right? He is absolutely brainless, but he thinks he's a genius in the advertising world.
Okay.
Right. So
Oh,
I was a
wow.
junior. I was a junior. I already know he's brainless, So, but what can I do lah? I'm the smallest guy in the in the company. And then his wife is the director also, and lah, right? Boss lady is like tiger in the. So very very toxic lah. Very
How
toxic
long did
environment.
you work there?
Within 6 months, I wanted to leave already, but
Wow. Okay.
yeah, but people have lasted shorter, like 3 weeks, 2 weeks also got. 6
Yeah.
months, I had a lot of patience already.
Uh,
So, but I couldn't find a job. Because I had no experience, right? So and then that stretched on. Finally the crisis happened. Lucky I can no chance to find a job lah. I did go for a few interviews. One of the most devastating interviews, the guy asked me, "Tell me why I should hire you." So I did the best that I could lah, right? So he said, "Hey, stop. I've got somebody outside there who's 15 years experience. He's won awards before in his life. He's married and have children. He's got a family to feed, and he's willing to work for half his salary. So tell me now why I should hire you and not him." I said, like, oh shit, I got no answer for this, So after that, I decided, okay, I'm not gonna look for a job anymore, like, if that's what the situation is like out there.
right.
And that's then after that, my sister, she knew I wasn't happy, so she asked me, would I like to join her to start a business? So I jumped at it lah. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just wanted to get out. So that was end of 1998, and that was also the end of my dream of being famous in the advertising world, winning awards, being the admiration of the industry. That was the end of my dream lah.
Right.
Right.
Oh. And then what you do?
So I started the business teaching computers to children, but that didn't last long. It only lasted about a year because we had no business. Then I joined her in Kumon. But I still had that dream, right? If I cannot be famous, if I cannot have my name in lights in the industry,
Come on, there.
yeah, then I still wanted to be rich. I still wanted to retire at 40 years old and become a millionaire. Right? So that's when I joined a network marketing company. And
What was this?
You know lah, Lombourget.
Yes.
So this was one of those high load upfront, so they can buy a position and all this. So it's like, okay lah, I joined in, put in some money which I didn't have, and at this point, I was really broke. I had no money at all. At this point, I was how old? I think I already had my daughter. My daughter was already about almost 1 year old, right? And I was broke, and that was part of my motivation. I felt really bad. My career dreams were crushed. I was broke. I had a child, and I was still broke. Hardly keeping afloat every night. Every month. So I went for this lah, right? So I went in and I gave it my all. I gave it my best shot. Unfortunately, my uplines were, so to say, not great.
Mm.
What in Lamborghini?
Yeah.
How long were you in there?
I was in there for 4 years. I gave myself 5 years, right? I told myself 5 years, I'm going to be up there at the top, right? I want to be the one that's on the stage, inspiring other people because I made it, right? I'm a millionaire and other people can follow me also, right? So uh,
Happened.
at 4 years, I was still at the bottom. I was still broke. My network was like what, 10 people? Yeah. And yeah,
Okay.
really nothing happened. And I had network that grew to Ipoh and JB. They were not producing, but I was committed to them, right? So every month I would travel to Ipoh, every month I would travel to JB. And I was
So how,
broke. Can you believe it? I'm broke, but
yeah,
I'm spending this kind of money.
yeah, but how do you survive then with your family?
By the grace of God, lah. Really, by the grace of God.
Yeah, but
Wow.
how do you support your family at that time? For 4 years, you
Oh,
said
I was working with Stephanie. My wife was still working. My wife, so she had a salary. I was
Mm,
working with Stephanie in the Kumon Center.
mm,
So she paid me a salary, but it was a very small salary lah because it was a small business.
right.
So
So
let me get this straight. You were doing Kumon and you were doing
yeah,
Lamborghini. And
yes,
after 4 years, you were still stuck at the bottom. And then you were
yes,
traveling to Ipoh once a month. You were traveling to JB once a
yes,
month.
yeah.
Okay.
So what
Did
does your parents, how did
right.
they support, yeah, your parents, your
Oh, my
mom?
parents. I mean, my parents were really great lah, right? So they knew that if we wanted to make money fast, then they wanted to book their position. So they did dump in some money, right?
Oh, they
So
help you. Huh?
yes, they did. So I appreciate that for that. But the problem is in network marketing, it's not the money dumping in to get your position. You need a moving network, right? You need
Mm,
consumers.
Yeah. You,
So
you need people to consume and to continue to consume.
correct. The problem is a lot of people that I brought in, they saw my upline. No. When they saw me, okay, I'll consider it. When they saw my upline, no. So it was like, okay, that was like that for 4 years, and it was really bad.
At any
Um,
point in the 4 years, sorry, I have a question.
yeah,
Did it not occur to you that your outline kind of sucked? And
I did. It did. So I tried. I tried a few ways. I tried going above him to my other uplines, and
mm,
they were like, okay, he's your upline. You work with him. So that was one. Then I tried one time to say, okay, leave my network alone. I don't want you to be involved at all, right? And this guy
mhm.
just couldn't get the message, right? I'm not even hinting. I openly told him, leave
okay.
my people alone. Let me handle them, right? And
Okay.
and and he would agree. And then a couple of weeks later, he'll come in during our meetings and say some shitty things and turn everybody off, lah.
Mm.
Mm,
So
okay.
yeah, that was
But
so
in
that
the
was that.
4 years, it didn't
Yeah,
occur to kind of not walk out. Sorry, just wondering because you told yourself 5 years.
yeah, because I told myself 5 years, and there was a significant money investment. There was a significant emotional investment because I wasn't just invested in the money. I was invested because I wanted the success. All right,
Mm.
and I wanted something for the future of my family, right?
Can
Because
you
at that
ask,
point I really had nothing
can
else.
can I ask you a question, Jason? Why do
Yeah.
you think you wanted that successful?
Okay. To
What
be
was it?
honest, to
What
be
was it for?
honest, to be honest, looking back now, the story I told myself was this for the future of my family, lah, right?
Mm,
Because I was tired of being broke. I was tired of being, just nobody. So I wanted to become somebody. I wanted to make the money for my family. But as I went more and more into it, I realized that I was spending so little time with my family,
mm,
right? So my parents babysat my daughter, and she would spend like 4, 5, 6 nights with my family. So yeah, and I hardly saw her. So I might see her for a couple of hours a day, and then after that, because network marketing is after hours, ma. He said
Mm.
after our breakfast. So I would send her to my parents. We would send her to my parents' place, and then we would go and meet people lah. And I pushed my wife into the business. She didn't want it. She didn't like it, but I felt that I needed the support, so I pushed her into the business as well, and that caused friction lah. So but
I love
yeah,
how you're
looking,
eating kacang and telling a story.
man, Peter man. No, so that was. I mean, looking back now, I realized that it, it, the story I told myself was it was for my family, but later I realized that hey, it's actually it's for myself lah. I
Mm.
wanted to be rich. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be able to stand up there and tell people, I made it. You guys can be like me now, right?
Right. So you attached to the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Have you ever
Yeah,
thought?
I might have started out with some good intentions lah, but I think along the way I just got so sucked in anymore. I couldn't, the priorities just
Yeah.
changed without me knowing it lah.
But
Was
going
that
deep
the lowest
down,
point?
yeah.
Was that the lowest point for you? Or there were
No,
other low
no,
points?
they got lower.
I love this. Thank you for being honest.
Got lower.
How far away are we from the
So,
lowest?
not yet.
You keep
Got
going
some
down.
more.
Oh, got
Lagi
some more.
ada.
Is it?
Ah.
Yes, much lower.
Okay, continue. Let's
So,
I want to hear
so
that.
I was going, struggling with this and trying to fix things and all that. Finally came to the end of the 4th year. I said, hey, I told myself 5 years. I got 1 more year left only,
Mm.
right? So this is the make it or break it year lah, right?
Mm.
If I'm gonna go all out, die also, I'm gonna get this.
Mhm.
Shortly after I made that mental decision to myself, my father fell sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So, and then because my mom is not from, she doesn't have the courage to drive around KL.
Mm.
So he fell on me to be the chauffeur lah. Every time my dad needed to go to the hospital, and he needed to go to the hospital every 3 weeks.
Mhm.
So, and his was a very gradual deterioration of his health, right? So over the course of 1 year, he slowly deteriorated until he died.
Right.
And I was just on standby because I never knew when he needed to go to the hospital. It was definitely every 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. What did he have?
Either
Asking?
he had a small growth in a very strange place. There's a small tube, like a couple of inches between the spleen and the liver. I think I can't remember.
Mhm.
So which produces the bile. This bile, without this bile, your body organs cannot function. So he had a small growth in that tube, which blocked the bile from flowing. Right. So he went for 3 operations where he had to insert the stent into the tube, but
Mhm.
that growth was too strong. It just collapsed the stent, all 3 stents.
Oh
So
dear.
yeah. So it was tough lah, right? Just waiting and seeing it.
Mm.
Yeah. And that really put a pause to everything, right? No more hustle. Right? I can't make any appointments because I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, so you were practically living your life on a standby for like 1 year.
Yeah, standby.
Okay.
So the only money I had was from the Kumon Center
Mm.
that my sister was running. Or was it my sister running it that time? She might have already passed it to me. I can't remember. But the income was really, really small. The income was really small. Oh yeah. Just to be really honest, we were so broke. My parents had to pay our house installment. So
Wow.
so we were that broke.
And what
So-
age were you then?
I should have been about mid-30s.
Wow. And how did that make you feel at that point?
Yeah.
You're mid-30s, parents have to pay.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to make it in the final year because I felt so shitty, so worthless. I was so full of shame. I mean, I'm in my mid-30s. I have a wife, I have a daughter, and I'm living in a house that I can't pay for myself. You know, I can't even pay for my own bills.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So there was a lot of turmoil inside me, lah.
Mm.
Uh,
Guilt and all
right.
that, I suppose.
Yeah. And I remember that around that time, The Incredibles came out, and
Mm.
I really so identified with. I cried watching The Incredibles because I felt like Mr. Incredible. I felt
Can you
so much
imagine?
like Mr. Incredible, sitting in the
Oh,
cubicle. Shit, what am I doing with my life? You know.
oh.
Okay.
That's the first time I hear someone cry watching
The
Incredible.
Incredibles,
Yeah,
right?
because you know what else I cried? I cried at Spider-Man 2,
Why?
right? Because
Why?
Spider-Man 2 was the story when he wanted Mary Jane, but he was torn with his responsible as
Hi,
the
Vivian.
superhero, right? So what was
Uh-huh.
he gonna do? Was he gonna fulfill his purpose, or was he gonna like chase after what he wanted? So I was torn like that as well, right? So yeah, stupid movies like this, I would cry because I was like, I felt so much like these people, and also the torn, the turmoil. Yeah. So anyway, so that was one of the great motivations for me to go all out for the final year. But then that went down the drain as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And during that 1 year of pause, that's when I really started to. I had no choice but to start to reflect upon my life,
Okay.
right? Because the first few months I was like, oh shit, what the hell am I doing, right? Why nothing is happening. I'm already this age and already nothing. I'm already broke. I'm already still depending on my parents.
Parents.
And just as when I thought I wanted to, go all out and make it, this happens. And it's a terrible thing to hear, right? Because on the other hand, my father is dying, and I'm having these feelings.
Yeah.
So, that's when I really had to
Did
confront
you
myself,
think
like,
that you had? Yeah, yeah. Did you think you have to make a choice at that time?
yeah, that's when I really had to confront my own motivations, right? If my father is
Mm-hmm.
dying, and this is all I can think about,
Mm-hmm.
hey, what kind of person am I, lah?
Mm.
Right? So, that's when I started to really reflect. What is really important in life, all right? And as I saw my father slipping away, that's when I realized, hey, the shitty childhood that I thought I have. Well, my father is here right now with me, lah. Right? He might not have been the greatest father in the world when I was a kid, but he's also had his journey, right? So I learned how to appreciate him for who he is, and he has helped us a lot, lah. Actually, right? So that's one thing. Uh, then that's when I started to realize, hey, my wife never wanted to be in the network marketing business, but I pushed her into it, thinking that, hey, you're my wife, you need to support me. And and that
Eh,
was
I pula yang nangis.
Aww.
But
and
no,
that and that and that
my
was a lot
father
of
is here
that was a
today.
lot of and there was a lot of friction because of that in our marriage. So
Mm-hmm.
and then I realized, what kind of bullshit have I been telling myself that it's all for my family when I'm actually doing this to my family? I'm not seeing my daughter. I don't have any time for my daughter. I see her maybe less than 10 hours a week,
Mm-hmm.
and the supposedly future of my family and all that is actually putting a strain on my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So these were the stuff I really had to confront it with myself, lah. And then um, I'm also very active in church, lah, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I realized, I mean, church has in church people are still human beings, lah. So if you are the biggest financial contributor mainly, then you are like a worthy leader, lah, right?
Mm-hmm.
But myself being broke, so I told myself, hey, okay lah, I got no money, I contribute myself, lah, right? My capability.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I realized, hey, actually what's important is not money, lah, right? What's important is you, who you are, the
Mm.
values that you hold. So over that whole 1 year, I started to realize these things. What was really important in life.
Okay.
It's not the past shitty things that happen, or what is happening today. What are the relationships that we are building today. It's not really also about the future. Yeah, we can plan for the future, but don't let it be. I realize that you can't let it be such that it destroys your present.
Mm-hmm.
So live in
Right.
the present.
Yeah, that's what I realized, right?
So
Because
that's
because
what you.
I had no future, right? You remember, I had no more future because I got not I got nothing to. I was forced to pause and stand by. It was really forced to be in the present, right? No past, no future already. I was just day by day. Wake up, okay. My dad didn't go to hospital today. Day end, okay. But next day wake up, all right. Dad didn't go to hospital today, all right. Day end. It was like that for a lot of the days.
So it's like Groundhog Day in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
So
like that for a year, and that one really I learned a lot of things. Finally my dad passed away, and then when that happened, I was thinking, okay, what's next? What am I gonna do with my life? I'm not on standby anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to go back to network marketing anymore after that because my values had changed.
Yeah.
So I just told God, I don't know lah. Okay lah. What I have now is my command center, so I'll just work with that lah.
And what year was this? How old were you at that point?
My daughter was 6. 2006, I was no, wait. 2006, right? Yeah, I was 32. 32, yeah.
Okay. And then what did you decide? Focus on Kumon.
Yeah, just focus on the Kumon Center at the time. Right. Yeah, so but then my Kumon Center also was very small. We had a very small income from the center only. And it still couldn't cover our bills. So my mom was still paying my installments for a while.
Okay. So then what did you do?
So my life for the next 4 years was just this, coasting along. Just my Kumon Center, once in a while I'll get some freelance assignments, but that's it. Right? Coasting. No, sorry, 2008. I was 34 at the time. My father passed away in 2008. 34. So from 2008 to 2012, I was just coasting. I had nothing. I had no options. I had really no options. Right? Until 2012, what happened was Kumon Malaysia was incorporated. Previously, it was a branch office from Singapore. Kumon Malaysia was incorporated, so all the franchisees had to sign a new contract. And what happened was, when I looked at the contract, I was very afraid, because the contract basically, the terms of the contract basically said that, of course, compliance is 100% necessary for the contract to be valid lah. But compliance is not stated, the terms not stated inside the contract. It's stated on the operations manual, which is outside the contract. And operations manual is subject to change anytime. So when I look at it, hey, 100% compliance on a document that can change anytime, that's crazy. Nobody will sign this kind of contract. And then there was another clause that said, company reserves the right not to renew the contract for whatever reason or no reason. So I was very scared, because why? During company meetings, I had openly criticized the company management's policies and actions before.
Right.
So by this time, my wife had borrowed money to open her own Kumon Center. So both of us were, yes. So both of us were entirely dependent on our Kumon income. So when we saw this contract, and I realized that, oh shit, if these people wanted to be petty, this would be a perfect time to get rid of me lah. That was my lowest point.
Wow.
That was my lowest point, because both of us, we had nothing else besides Kumon. Right? And at that time, I think I only had like $200 in the bank, in my savings. And that was when I realized, hey, if my center closed for any reason this month, next month immediately we have no money to pay bills. We have no money for anything.
Wow. Okay.
And that point, that's the one that you felt you could be homeless.
Yeah, that's when I realized, man, yeah, we could definitely be homeless because we had nothing else. We really had nothing else. So, and yeah, even talking to you, then the remembering and my heart is beating now, because the emotions are so strong. And you know, uh, that time when we were I was seeing the contract with my wife. I look at her and I mean, we didn't know what to do.
Right.
Mhm.
So I just told her, look, we are really at the end of the road already, right? Because
Mm.
we have no money to start any business. She's still in debt, paying off her center, right? I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have any network to start any, working out my freelance business to immediately bring in money.
Right.
Really nothing lah, no options. So I told my wife, we are really at the end of the road now. Actually, there's nothing lah. There's nothing we can do. There's really absolutely nothing that we can do. So let's just pray lah. So
Papa, I'm
hi,
online.
girl.
Oh,
My dad.
I forgot about this. I was downstairs.
Are you listening in later?
Partly, I was doing something else. Okay, now good.
Okay.
All right, continue, Chee.
So we just okay lah, right? We just pray lah. That's all. So we just said a very simple prayer. We prayed, God, you say we are your children, you're our father, right? We don't know what the future holds, but we just know that you hold the future lah. That's it, right? So we just leave it to you. And that was it. That was really it because I didn't know what else to say. I didn't know what to. My mind was totally blank.
Wow.
And
So you
and-
decided to go all in.
yeah, it was just let it go lah. And actually it was very funny because up until then, I was still holding on to. I mean, up until my father's time, I was still striving very hard, right? And even after my father's time, even though my priorities had changed, I still felt this like, lama, missed opportunities. Shit, what am I doing in my life? I still had all those. So when I came to this point, it was like, oh shit, even what I have is going to be gone. Don't talk about what I wish I had.
Right.
So that's when I just said, okay, God, everything I leave it to you, everything I let go to you. There's nothing else that I can do. Right? There's nothing else I can say.
Surrender.
Yeah, total surrender. That was total surrender. It was total surrender. I couldn't. Yep. And that's when things really started to happen. And that's really strange. Right? I really thank God. This is God's grace. So the next couple of days I was thinking, actually, what can I do? Right? I'm not the type that surrender means lie down and die. I'm the type that, okay, surrender already. Okay, let's in the calmness of my surrendered heart, let's think what I can do.
Okay. So what happened?
So
Yeah.
then I call up a couple of friends that I had worked with on some projects before. I said, hey, I'm in a bad place now. So if you help me look out for any opportunities. Then and I'm really thankful because at that time when I was broke, remember I told you that if I got no money, I contribute myself, right? My skills, whatever. I have worked on a couple of community projects with these people, right? For Anak Bangsa Malaysia, NGOs and things like that. So these people knew how I worked, and they had a relationship with me. So when I called them up, and they said, "Oh, Seng, yeah, don't worry, I'll look out for you." And a couple of weeks later, somebody introduced me and said, "Hey, look, Yahoo Malaysia is looking to hire." Right? So I said, "Yahoo Malaysia sounds good, but I have a real shitty portfolio, right? I got nothing to show." So he said, never mind, lah, you just try it. So I call up the editor. He said, okay, you come and meet me. I went there and I brought my certificates of graphic design. They were looking for a writer. So I brought a few of my writing samples, which were really, really shitty writing and samples because I had lousy jobs last time. And what he told me was, put away your papers. I don't want to see. Let's just have a coffee and conversation. Right? So I had a chat with him for like an hour. And then, okay, I'll let you know. 3 months later, I joined Yahoo. All right. And that was really the turning point, because when you have Yahoo Malaysia attached to your name, a lot of doors open.
Yep.
Right. So yeah. So that's when one after another. Well, Yahoo Malaysia didn't open the doors immediately, right? So some other opportunities came along. I started to get more interesting jobs. I got a request a couple of years later, asked me, would you be interested to write a book, biography? Oh yes, this one.
Oh, this is amazing.
This is the one.
Liz, Shirley is saying suruh abah duduk lah. Suruh papa duduk.
Okay lah, Papa duduk.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's my favorite pisang. My favorite pocan in here.
Go get a chair. Wait,
Yeah.
Papa sit down first. I go get a chair.
Yeah.
Go get a chair.
Okay, so you do the interview, uncle.
Yeah. So that was a very, very interesting experience, because I'd never written a book before, and to write a biography of such a heritage, I felt a big responsibility, lah, and I wanted to give it my best. And that time I didn't know how to charge, lah. I charged cheap like hell, But to my mind, it was like, it's okay, because people pay money to learn how to write book. People paying me now, take it that way, right? So a lot of things started rolling. So when I left Yahoo, or when somebody else, one of the editors left Yahoo, and when I left Yahoo, they asked me, would you like to write for my website? She was with Coconuts KL at that time. So she asked me, would you like to contribute content? I said, okay, how much you pay? 50 USD. So to me, I was thinking, 50 USD is like 150 ringgit lah that time. 150 ringgit is not much. But I was thinking, well, if I can write one article a week, I would get 600 ringgit. 600 ringgit at that time was like big money to me, because that will help me pay some bills. So I promised her, okay, I'll try to deliver you one a month lah, one a week. So I write, and the first story I submitted to her went viral.
Wow.
4,000 plus. I thought, wow, I was, when it was published, I said, wow, got 50, wow, got 100. I never thought, wow, 200. Wow, then it went up and up and up and up until 4,000 plus. And I said, wow, mind blown. Then second one, 3,000 plus. Third one, 4,000 plus. Fourth one, few hundred. Fifth one
Like
is
this one lah. This one 84,000.
this one is like legend.
Yeah lah. Malaysian
So-
passion. But the
Yeah.
food.
So because of this, it all started snowballing. It all started from Yahoo, and then from the digital content, and then from other introductors writing the book. So as I built up all this reputation, that was 2012. Now it's 2021. I look back in the past 9 years and I feel really amazed, right? Because from 1997 to 2012, 15 years, zero, right? Whatever I tried, sometimes I just felt like, hey, God, are you playing tricks on me or what? Right? You like sekat me, you're like blocking me everywhere I turn.
Don't play. Last year, 70 rising personalities on LinkedIn Malaysia 2020.
Yeah, but from 2012 onwards, when I made that prayer, I just surrender, give everything to you. it's like, okay, doors open, right? All the doors that were closed before that, 15 tahun, now doors open, one after another. It's just things just started to happen. I don't know. Sometimes I really don't know where these things come from. It just comes. Yeah, seriously, it just comes. I have no idea. It's just like, oh, okay.
So that was since 2012. What do you think happened? Looking back,
Yeah.
what do you think was the switch in terms of mindset or whatever that led to everything?
The only thing I can think of is total surrender lah.
Your faith
Totally,
to God.
yeah, just totally letting it go to God and letting God do whatever He wants to do. Because previously I was still holding on to this is what I want, this is what I want, right? This is what I
Right.
want.
You were trying to be smart lah.
Yeah. So finally, when I said, okay, whatever little thing I had also looks like going to be no more already. So I'm going to be reduced to absolute zero. Okay, I got whatever you want. It's up
So,
to you.
Jiseng, what do you think God is trying to teach you here? What do you think you're trying to learn here? What did you share with us? What do you think if God is
Yeah.
trying to?
So what I realized then is that we need to really learn how to let go of our life to God lah, and let God in His wisdom direct our life, right? Because in my experience, when I tried to direct my life, didn't work lah, right? So, but once I said that prayer to surrender, I didn't even need to change anything. Seriously, I didn't need to change anything. Anything looking for me, right? So that, I think that was my biggest experience, and it's only this year. When I want, or rather last year lah. It was only last year when I started thinking that, hey, when I started thinking that, hey, I can't be like floating lah, right? Because I seriously been floating for the last 2012 to 2020. I was just floating. In this sense of wonder and awe, It's like hey, something come already. Like this one like not enough money. Hey, the freelance job come already. This one like not enough money. Hey, another freelance job come already.
Love it. Okay.
Right, so I wasn't doing anything. I was seriously just floating, and then it was only last year, or rather 2019, where I decided like, look, like I can't be floating, right? I'm already 40 plus. I can't be floating for the rest of my life, right? So let's put some structure to my life and career, lah, right? And direct it somewhere. So I started, and then pandemic. So I was really scared. Because I went through the 97, 98 crisis. And that was only Asia. This was global, right? Global. And I was thinking, oh gosh, and this is not just any one particular segment of the economy. It's every segment of economy, every segment of society. I was really very scared. I was imagining, oh my God, if this carries on, 6 months later, there'll be riots in the streets and all that kind of shit. I was thinking like that. Yeah, so but then I remembered and I think this what happened in 2012, that prayer I made, really has sustained me in all these years, because when I started to get slowly slipping into depression because of thinking all these fears, then I started to remember, hey, come on, if God had taken me through so many years and I just floated and God had taken care of me, am I gonna start doubting Him now? Hey, come on, man. That's like not cool. So I say, okay lah, God. Okay, just surrender to you lah. Let's see what we can do. So when I surrendered to God for the pandemic, again lah, in the calmness of a surrendered heart, then start to think already. What can I do? What can I do? Then I realized in the economy, yes, stops, but not every part of the economy stops, right? Things still function. So where can I fit into the things that still function?
Right.
So that's when I thought, okay, I think LinkedIn is going to be a very good place, lah. That's where the professionals hang out.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where we met Nina.
Yeah. So I was thinking, okay, no, because previously what I was thinking of how to scale up was I wanted to do short projects, cheap projects, and volume. So my strategy for scaling up income and business was low cost, high volume, high value. Then I realized when the pandemic hit, I realized, no lah, because during bad times, low cost, high value is going to be a lot. That will be the bloodletting, everybody will be, slitting each other at that level. So I need to go high cost, high value. High cost, high value, where do I go? LinkedIn lah. So I started experimenting with LinkedIn. Then I got in touch with a few people. Then finally came into contact with Popcorn, the hero.
Yeah.
So, Chee-Seng, going back to what would you say to the Chee-Seng now? What would the Chee-Seng now say to the Chee-Seng way before young, when you were young, when you were stuck? What would you say to that Chee-Seng then?
I would say probably let it go lah. Human beings, I realize now, human beings do not have the capacity to know everything and control everything.
Right.
That's a good one.
And it's an absolute lie that is being told today that you are the master of your destiny. You have absolute control of what you are going to have in your life. Whatever you think you will, will appear before you. To me, it's no lah.
So what is the truth then, if that is an absolute lie?
The truth is there is God who is in control, right?
Okay.
And God who is absolutely wise, God who is absolutely knowing everything, and God who is absolutely love for his creation, right? So if we know this God, and if we surrender to him, he will guide us lah. The problem is, I realize, and this will be my sermon this Sunday. That's the lay preacher part lah, right? I'm not a full time church worker. I just preach on the side, and this will be my message, part of the message this Sunday. It's only that we hold on to what we ourselves want, right? That we miss out on what God has arranged for us, right? So if we are resisting God, if we are resisting the things of God, then don't be surprised. Then there'll be a lot of struggle lah, right?
I like this. It's so cute. It's so apt as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Chee-Seng, it's really amazing what you're sharing tonight. For me, it's like, especially the part that really touched me when you were talking about your dad, because I have my dad today. He came here,
Yeah.
So I feel so lucky that my father is still here with me.
Yes, appreciate our family.
Yeah, I appreciate, and I'm so happy that he's still around with me. Even I'm in the hospital, also he still come and visit me. I'm so lucky, and a lot of people don't have that chance,
Yes,
Not many people have that chance, but I do. Even I'm like gonna be 50 years old, but my father is still around today.
Yeah, it's true.
That makes you think, what's important in your life. What's important in your life? It's your family.
I was
God, really to God, and just have faith. And what's this amazing thing that I have on this show is that I realized everyone on the show, remember everyone always talk about God, right? It's always always about God. Still, God is guiding us.
What's
And
the
so
main
glad,
thing?
yeah. And I'm so glad my dad is still around here and with me next to me.
You know what I realized during that 1 year with my dad. I was never close to my father, and my father. Now I understand lah, right? Having grown up already, finally grown up.
Yeah.
My father never had a father, so
Oh, okay.
so yeah, he was and my father is a great man. No,
Yeah.
my grandfather abandoned him when he was small, like 3 4 years old, and sent him off to live with dirt poor parents, dirt poor relatives.
Yeah.
And after my father had made it, he was a successful engineer. My grandfather actually came back and wanted to be reconciled, right? And my father said, "Okay,
Wow.
Oh,
yeah." And my father accepted him, right?
yeah.
But with us he was distant. With my brother and sister, he had a very fiery temper. But I guess by the time it came to me, he mellowed down lah, right? But he was still distant.
The
Um,
youngest always mellow down one.
yeah. So he wasn't fiery, but he was distant. So
Mm.
at that time, it was like at that time when I was small, I felt like I had no dad, no, I got no father, I got no mother, I had this kind of feeling.
Mhm.
But now that I grown up, then I realized, hey, my dad was a much better father to me than his dad was to him.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
And if you think about it, how did he learn how to be a dad?
Yeah, out of the goodness of his own heart, right? The experience that he had, the character that he has.
And I believe that what you're doing today is also because of you wanting to be a better father for your daughter. Yes.
Yeah, true. So my father during his later years, because he was always distant to us, he wasn't affectionate in his actions lah, in his words. Typical Chinaman lah, right? But what he would do to show that he cared, he would come to my house and he'll fix things up because he was a handyman. He was a real DIY person. So
Mm.
he'll come to my house and he'll fix things up. I got a broken door somewhere, got a broken water heater somewhere, broken faucet somewhere. I needed to extend the phone line to my office. If you come to my house, I think he pulled the wire in the perimeter here, up the wall, up the ceiling, down the wall here again. Very neat, very, very neat wire work.
So
You
that's
won't
how
even
he
know.
expressed his love to you.
Yeah. You won't even know that he pulled the wire. It was so neat. That's right. That's how he expressed his love. And
But I think
and towards the end, I think towards really the end, when he was really in the last 1 2 weeks of his life, that's when I realized, hey, shit, what's all these things about image? What's all these things about being distant? What's all these things about? He's dying lah. He's not going to be around anymore. Better say what you want to say lah, right?
Yeah.
So those were the first few days, and I spent the last two weeks as much as I could with him lah. I besides going to work and going home to settle some stuff, I spent most of the time with him. So, and that's when I would read the Bible to him, play some Christian music for him. Became a Christian later in his life lah. And then towards the end, I would just the very difficult word for a Chinaman to say to another Chinaman, I love you. Right. So yeah, because at that moment it doesn't matter anymore lah. It doesn't matter, right? The only thing that matters is just the relationship. So this experience, right, really, it was very transformative for me lah. It's very transformative. And that's why, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever express your love for him?
Yes, yeah. I mean, in the last couple of weeks lah, right, when I realized that, hey, if I don't say it, if I don't let him know,
What did you say? If you don't mind me. What did you say? If you don't mind me asking.
I think towards the end he had some regrets lah. So and towards the end he was very weak, he couldn't speak, so he wanted to write something. So and he wanted some assurance of love. Yeah. So
And what did you say to him?
I told him things like, "I love you, lah. Of course." That's one of the things. I think the other thing that he was worried about, where was he gonna go? Right. So I told him, right, don't worry, Jesus is gonna take care of you. Right. When you see Jesus, go to Jesus. Things like
Did you forgive him?
yeah, at that moment, it doesn't matter anymore, lah. Really, when I say it doesn't matter anymore, it really doesn't matter anymore. What the hell about all this? I think it became a very. I think death has a way of making us face the truth, whether it's my own death or somebody else's death, lah.
True.
Right? It makes you confront the truth, right? And then we have a choice. We really have to make that choice. Do we still want to hold on to the grudge? Or do we want to let it go and just come on, let him go in peace, lah? Right?
Right.
And if I still hold on to the grudge, I mean, if he goes, he's released from this life already. Hey, I'm the one still holding it, way. Right? So at that point, I made the choice, lah. No, lah. I don't have any grudges against my dad. I don't have any ill feeling towards him, lah. I really learned how to appreciate him, how to appreciate how he tried to show us his love, even though he came from such a background that he could have been an abuser, he could have been an abandoning father, right? From what he has experienced last time, but he didn't, right? He might be flawed, but he did his best, lah.
Yes. You be the best in me. Thank you so much, Seng, for sharing your very, very inspiring life journey. And thank you everyone for watching us tonight. I think it's a bit waterwork tonight. Oh, Nino happy.
And I didn't expect to be in this program.
Yeah.
Papa,
Like, good to
what do you
have
want to
you.
say something to Seng as a father? What do you want to say something?
I know it's good you say something that makes some father now realize, hey, I'm not being a good father, or maybe it's not too late for them to change and give them the support. The children support the children and give them encouragement what they want to do. I think I told Aliza few times, there's nobody else a better friend than your father. So he is the best friend as long as he lives. He can never let you down. Okay, and that's I feel to my children. That's how I feel, and they did all my support, and we have to give it. You are the father now, so you have to do better than your father did to you.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
then shouldn't be.
I think I'm too much of a father to my daughter, because my daughter now is always telling, hey, go away, lah. You're bothering me.
How old is she?
She's 19, so she needs a space. Please
Exactly. Don't worry, they come back when they're older.
go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this section is most touching one. I'm crying now. We are all crying, maybe. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you again next week. And thank you again, Seng and Nina.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you, Papa. Love you.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Wah,